Hey guys, it's Astro here. I have not uploaded in a while. I really apologize. I've been really busy with a lot of Astro research, and on top of that, I'm just helping other people with their projects, and I'm trying to kind of help people and kind of get into transiting exoplanets and stuff like that. Just kind of teach them the ropes a bit. It's a lot of fun. So this is kind of like a quick update video, and also why you guys actually get to know a little bit about me today. So as well, so I actually started doing exoplanetary science. I think it was back in high school. So I started doing exoplanetary science around 2017, 2016 timeframe. And it's fast forward to 2024. That's nearly 8 years. So I've been doing it for quite a while. I actually started with a program called Planet Hunters, which is a open source site where you can actually look at light curve data and actually identify whether this is a U shape or a V shape and all that stuff. Just intro stuff to kind of get an idea of what to look for in transit photometry. Then I started moving on to coding, and the coding kind of grew into something more. And now here we are with ground-based telescope photometry and all that stuff. And it's just awesome because I've been doing ground-based telescope photometry for almost 2.5 years now. And I'm learning quite a lot. It's a process, and learning about ground-based telescope photometry actually opened my mind to learning about eclipsing binaries and false positives and all that type of stuff. And when it comes to exoplanet science, you have to take into account of all these factors. And I think what really got me interested in exoplanet science is the fact that there's all these possibilities that can happen, and there's all these possibilities that can't happen. So it's like a relationship. And when we are doing this, it keeps me busy. I like it. It just keeps me busy, and it just keeps my mind occupied. It keeps me from you know, because I got a lot of stuff going on, and I haven't been feeling the greatest lately. I've been more exhausted than usual lately, so I've been trying to kind of wrap up what I'm doing here with the paper, as well as starting a new paper, which I'm not going to release soon, but it's going to be in collaboration with the Marts Cole Observatory, because actually the Marts Cole Observatory and I have been doing a lot of exoplanetary work recently, and it's interesting to see like a group of amateurs coming together and kind of teaching each other new things when it comes to this type of stuff. And on top of that, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a part of Exoplanet Watch Group. They mainly keep up with ephemeris updates, but I actually like to host events where there are possible exoplanet candidates that might need to be validated with ground-based telescope photometry. And that is when I step in and say, okay, is this possible? Could this be an exoplanet candidate? And we go through all the checks to see if it's there. And then we announce it saying, okay, yeah, this is definitely a possible exoplanet candidate. We would like to have volunteers who would like to possibly help with this validation. And it's a lot of fun because you get all these people from around the world. Science is universal. It's awesome. And science is global. I love it. It's just like you got people from Germany, UK, Africa. You got Spain. You got Australia, China, Russia, etc. It's amazing. Like despite the stuff that's going on in our world right now, like the only thing that we actually really seem to care about and actually talk about is just science. It's just amazing. You got all these different groups of people coming together, collaborating, learning, and all that stuff, and teaching new people these things. And it's just why I love doing it. It just keeps me occupied, and it's a lot of fun. And I really encourage people to join, depending on what type of science you're into. It doesn't matter if it's like galaxies, nebula, stars, black holes, etc. It's there's a lot of interesting fields of science out there that you could potentially study and do. So it's awesome. And so I started data science roughly about 6 years ago. I actually started coding a lot more recently because I'm actually developing a couple codes that I'm going to be using for ground-based telescope photometry that are actually going to be helping with single series, time series observations, which should help in the future confirm or potentially identify false positives, which will help determine orbital periods and all that stuff as well, which is interesting. It's still in the works. I've been developing this code for a couple months now, and the code's coming along nicely. Actually, I'm using AI to help with the code process, and it's a lot of fun actually training the code to actually recognize certain parameters and kind of making estimates of certain parameters to kind of help, but also kind of teach me as well as learning about those certain parameters, because I do not know the equations for those types of parameters, but there are some parameters that I know the equations for, and it's a difficult process. I'm not going to get into it because Kepler's law is a fun but painful process. And for those of you who know and study exoplanets and do photometry, understand what I'm talking about. So it's a lot of fun. Like, I really encourage a lot of people to join. It's a good field. There's a lot of value in this type of research, even though you're doing this amateurly. And not a lot of people can actually can. A lot of people can contribute. You got all these programs out there. You got TFOP, ExoFOP, Exoplanet Watch. You have all these others, and those are just the top three that I could think of right now. The ones that I'm mainly in are ExoFOP and Exoplanet Watch, and these are the two groups that I honestly am very glad to be a part of because they've taught me so much compared to what I learned when I started doing ground-based photometry 2 years ago. They taught me a lot about false positives and everything that I needed to know about transit photometry. I'm still learning. It's a lot of information to absorb. So if you're doing this for the long haul, you're going to be absorbing a lot of information, and it keeps you occupied. And sometimes, occasionally, you'll have a 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. thought, and then you'll wake up and you're like, I wonder, and then you start exploring, and then you actually come to find out that, yeah, that's possible. And that's why I like doing it, is because it just keeps my mind occupied. It's fun. And I haven't talked a lot about exoplanets recently because I've been working on a lot of the projects, and I've been working on several different things, and I'm also helping two other people with their Astro research projects, and on top of that, I'm trying to kickstart the Mars School Observatory with their exoplanet stuff as well. So I'm trying to help out with them. I actually want to teach them more, and I'm also teaching myself more about the exoplanets. It's really awesome, and I'm working with a lot of great people, and I really encourage a lot of people to join just any type of science field. It's universal, really, and it's a lot of fun. And you learn a lot, you do a lot, and you get to present some really cool stuff, and sometimes that cool stuff gets turned into cool papers, and those papers get published, and that's something that I think is really cool. And yeah, it's why I like doing it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and you guys learned a little bit about me, why I do what I do, and why I like studying what I study. So it's a lot of fun, but it's also a painful process, but it's part of it. I'm Astro, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to share this with someone who might want to get into stuff like what we are doing, and I'm just spreading awareness about this, and it's yeah, so I hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you guys in the next video. So have a good week, and I will probably post it in the next 2 weeks or so. I don't know, my schedule is so weird, but yeah. Hope you guys like I said, have a good week and stay occupied.